Hello? 5 minutes till showtime. Vocal testing 1 2 1 2. Just making sure there's no background noise or not too much. Got fans and stuff going. I got fish tanks and stuff going, so make sure I got my notepad ready to go. Jot down my notes. Oh, I gotta get myself in the shot. Make sure I'm good to go. All right, it's 8 o'clock. I guess it's showtime. Hear me out, Mr. Felix Black with the Hear Me Out podcast, episode 15. And thank you guys who are here. If you're here, please just hit that like button for me and share it with friends. Leave comments in the comment section because I will respond to the comments as I see them. Episode 15, 2 weeks in a row. Like I said, I'm going to try to do this on a constant basis. As I have topics to speak about, it won't be an issue. But depending on what I have to say, there may be breaks. Like I said, I want to get guests on here. And this is going to be the new format. This is the first night that I'm actually live streaming it. And this is what I wanted to do with the actual live stream instead of just speaking in front of a microphone and then posting it to various websites as a blog or a podcast. I think live streaming it to get up to the minute feedback would be a lot better, a lot more interactive. So here it is. This is the pilot edition of the live stream. So Mr. Felix Black, as usual, representing vidthrough.com. Check out vidthrough for all your gaming needs. Right now I got on the Man with the Golden Guns t-shirt, just in case anyone was wondering. So I'm going to go ahead and get into my topic for today, and it's partnerships. You know, and it's not the angle that you think I'm going to take with it. It's hard sometimes to speak on topics because you don't want to alienate people. And for some reason, every time you make a comment, every time you make a statement, people think that that comment or statement is about them. And it's not necessarily always about one specific person. It's more of a trend. With me anyway, it's more of a trend that I've been noticing in general, and it's not just one specific instance. So I never want to offend people with my opinion, because that's all it is. It's my opinion. If I state a fact, then I will state a fact, and it probably won't be offensive, but most opinions are offensive. So this is just my opinion. You can disagree, agree. Either way, I'm good. I can take someone who doesn't necessarily agree with everything that I think or say. I would say that I'm a really understanding person. So partnerships. I don't think people understand the seriousness of a partnership. And when I'm interviewing the new guys for VidThrough, I make it a point to let them know that this is serious. This is a law-abiding contract that you're getting ready to sign. And I always advise them to read it. It's not something that we're trying to rope you into a situation that you can't get out of or take advantage of, kids, grown-ups across the internet. This is stuff that you actually have to read. You have to understand the language. You have to read the fine print, as with any contract. And I think a lot of people are just so excited to get a partnership that they don't understand the seriousness of it. And that's with any company. I don't care who you're with. It's not just about VidThrough. It's just speaking in general about the seriousness of partnerships. And people really need to understand that once you sign that contract, it's not just about you anymore. It's about a bigger picture, a bigger teamwork goal, a bigger vision as far as you, your channel, your goals, and the team that you may be with. All gaming networks have a different mission. They have a different way of going about that mission. And they look for people who fit their particular style of achieving that vision. What's going on? Welcome everybody to the live stream. Talking a little bit about partnerships and responsibility. And I just want to say it's not a game. Once we send you that contract, you sign it, it's no longer a game. And I think a lot of people have been realizing that. Like I said, this is not just within the VidThrough family, because I know a lot of directors who are partnered with Machinima, with TGN, and with Yaush. And They don't understand the seriousness of it. I always say this, and I've said it a couple times in my interviews with the new directors. It's just like a partnership, a sponsorship. Once Nike sponsors LeBron, he represents that company, and he has a responsibility to represent them the way that they want to be represented. Other than that, they wouldn't have offered him that contract. So it's no longer just about him. If he goes out and he gets, a DUI, if he goes out and he says, some controversial statements, everyone who backs him is associated with him. And that's what people don't understand. They think once you get a partnership, you kind of just go and you post to your channel and that's it. No, it's not that simple. If it was that simple, I think what would be the point in having an actual network itself? You have a responsibility, and it's a responsibility that sometimes it's harder than you expected it to be. Me signing up with VidThru, I mean, posting videos for me is still fun. Being a recruiter for them is a lot of fun. Meeting, looking at different channels, meeting new people, being a community manager, telling people about what VidThru is, what we're all about, and how we can benefit them and how they can benefit us. I like it. I wouldn't want to do much more with the VidThru name, but it gets hard, and it comes down to a time management thing. I do work a full-time job, so VidThru is kind of on the side in my extra time, but it takes up a lot of time, and I still have a channel to look after. There's still things that I want to do, but just what I do is I help most of the directors that's coming on to VidThru, and that's not a problem. And like I said, I knew what I was getting into, but it is tough, and I see a lot of people that struggle with that time management aspect, posting videos for more than one channel, keeping those ideas fresh, keeping it new. And like I said, I run into writer's block all the time. I even made a video about it, about actually having writer's block. So it's serious. It's not a guaranteed way to success. I think, well, now, YouTube is giving people the thumbnails. They're giving people the actual scheduled uploader. So some of the benefits that we had as partners, I won't want to say are going away, but it's being expanded to more than just the partners. But it's not a way to start them. I think honestly is that most people should have a certain fan base prior to getting the partnership. Not everyone is different. Like I said, this is my opinion. You should have already established a fan base. A partnership just means that someone wants to, back you, wants to sponsor you. You're a good representative for the company, and they wouldn't mind representing you as well. It's a double representation. But I've just seen a lot of people, they they gas out, because when you come on, you have all these ideas, you're full of energy, you're energetic, and you kind of tire yourself out in the beginning. It should be no different than what you're doing currently, and I make it a point that we never try to tell someone exactly what to do, what to post, because I don't want to stunt anyone's creativity. I mean, that would just be a bad thing. So I do what I can, and it takes commitment. It takes great time management skills, whether you go to school, whether you have a family, whether you just have a full-time job. It takes a lot of commitment, and I really and truly think that people underestimate the amount of time that it takes, to continue to put out quality content. Anyone can record a video, whether it be with a cell phone, whether it be with an HD PVR or a Blackmagic Intensity. Anyone can talk over it. You don't need a high-powered mic, with a pop filter and a stand and all. You don't need all of that. And anyone can open a YouTube channel. All you need is an email address on Google. But it takes a certain level of commitment to continue to put out good content. depending on what your goals are, and everyone's goals are different. I got to write that down so I don't forget. It's different ways about going about that. Some people want the notoriety. Some people want the subs. Some people want the views. Some people want the money. You know, some people say they don't care about that. That's not important to them. To each his own. I'm not here to judge or to criticize, to say which is right and which is wrong. But it's just different ways about going about all of that kind of stuff. Every day, I'm sure at least 10 channels open up on YouTube. And that's just more people. That's just more clutter. It's just making it harder for people to find your content. So that's where the level of commitment comes. I'm sure it took less commitment in 2007, 2008, when no one was really posting, because if you type in Call of Duty back then, there's only so many people posting. So I mean that's easy. But now if you type in Call of Duty, I mean you have channels that, like I said, don't necessarily do high def. You have channels that are closed or people have stopped posting to them. You have channels that are still functioning just every once in a while, and you have the big channels that post 3 times a day, and you have the regular channels who post a couple times a week. What are you going to do to get your name out there, to get your channel out there? Are you just going to, are you going to resort to live commentaries, comedies, montages, editing, more serious commentary, tips and tricks? Like I said, there's an audience for everything, but you have to find that audience, and you have to make sure that they can see you. And I said this in the last in the last podcast, and I don't want them to sound too much alike. But you can't just post a video anymore and wait for views unless you have that fan base already. You can't do that anymore. You have to go and get it. And if I would want you to take anything away from this podcast, it would be to go and get it. Grab someone's views, someone's browser, and point them into the direction of your videos. Because in the end, if someone goes through the interview process, goes through getting the contract, goes through the motions of learning how to post videos, and then they say, you know what, I don't want to do it anymore, it's a waste of time. You've wasted your time. You've wasted the company's time, like who you signed with, and that's just not fair to anyone. If you're not really committed to doing it, if you just want to get the banner and just say, I got the banner right now, I can leave YouTube, then that's wrong. Again, that's my opinion. That's not fair to anyone involved, because every company has directors that they think, if you invest the right amount of time in them, that they will, blow up exponentially. And we want to make sure that we can give that attention to everyone equally. And for those who show the drive, who show the initiative, the tools are there to succeed, but it's not an easy road anymore. It's really not. And I mean, that's minus the shout outs, that's minus the guest appearances. This is just you straight up posting to your channel and getting viewers to your channel. It's not easy anymore. And I think people expect to post a gameplay, a walkthrough, a vlog, and I mean, it's great content. It's awesome. It's edited well. They're well spoken. They're beasts at the game, but it's just so much stuff. It's just so much stuff out there, and I even have problems doing that. I look for medium-sized channels. I use the term medium loosely. Between 100 and 1,000 subs. That's what I look for. And it's even hard for me to find channels that are still working, that the person is posting constantly, that they actually want to continue to do this. Most of the commentators have either been doing it for a little while, that I come across, have either been doing it for a little while, and They're, semi big, or they're just new. Now that's just going off of sub count. Like I said, I don't put a lot into the sub count. The subs just let me know that you built a foundation of a fan base. That's it. That doesn't mean that you're a good commentator. Doesn't mean that you're a bad commentator. That's all a matter of opinion. But it just lets me and other people around YouTube know your popularity. It's not the end all be all. And I keep trying to let people know that it's not the end all be all. It's maybe out of 100%, 15, 10. That's just to give a second look. But you have to get viewers to your content. Either way it goes. You can have 10 million subs, you can have 1. If people aren't watching it, then you're just dead in the water. Variety versus being pigeonholed. I use the term pigeonholed when you have a certain type of video that you like to stick with. This is a long, age-old debate of whether variety is good on a channel or whether it's good to post what you're good at and what subscribers can expect from you. I tend to think you find what works for you and you continue to drive with that. You can venture off to try different things just to see if people's response to it. I've tried it. I've tried the comedy videos. they failed. I'm not good at comedy. Okay, I can accept that. But what works for me, I think that it's not variety. I think people come to my channel for a certain tone, a certain video, a certain aspect from video games. So I took that and ran with it. Did that upset some people? Yeah, but I mean, that's fine. No matter what you do, you're going to upset some people. You're not going to be able to avoid that, people getting mad at what you do or what you don't do. So I found what works for me. There are some people that can get away with the variety, and it works totally from them. And I say variety, I mean editing, I mean different games, I mean tips and tricks, watch me play, gameplay, just regular commentary, just vlog and doing vlogs. I mean, there are some people that can get away with that. I am not one of them. So if anyone asks me, I would say find what works, find what you get the most response from, build your fan base off of that. It doesn't have to be necessarily a certain game. It could be a certain persona. Whether you're the wacky, fun guy that shouldn't be taken seriously because you're just having fun with this and you just want to continue going in that way, that's fine too. I think I'm more of a serious commentator, and that's what I recognized worked best for me, was just being more serious, more straightforward. And people call it condescending. I don't think that. I don't think that. I think the way I just stated is I try to give as much facts as I can and leave the opinions out of it as much as I can. It's going to be opinion filled, more of explanation. I try to tell why I do what I do to give people better understanding. Does that work? No, of course not. So how did I get started? I got started back on Modern Warfare 2. We played as a team of 6. I mean, we were always doing well in the pubs, and I was unaware of how big posting was actually on YouTube. So we were generally good pub stomping, getting the big win streaks, getting the big kills. So I wanted to initially post tips and tricks. I just wanted to help people get better. And that's what my first video was. My first video was trailer park, nuke in a trailer park. And was I defensive playing? Absolutely. I wasn't hiding in a corner. I was hiding at a cutoff route and shooting the guys as they ran to the flag. Of course, it was domination. And it was just to teach people different spots on the map. I call myself a T. Martin commentator. Will I show you spots to throw grenades from on the map? No, because I don't study the maps that closely. Will I tell you some different routes that you can take in order to cut the enemy off or to defend the flag or become offensive and help your team win? Absolutely. And that's what I will continue to do, whether people like it or not. Like I said, the worst thing you could do is ignore my videos and not pay any attention to them. Unfortunately, you can't come dislike a video without watching it or without it logging the view, unless you're just that quick. If it's that serious to you, more power to you. I'm not really going to argue the point. So that's how I got started, was to give people tips and tricks and to help the YouTube community get better. So I have no problem doing that. I did get away from that by doing just regular commentaries, but I'm going to bring that back, and I'm working on that, and I think this will be my outlet for just regular commentaries and my form of entertainment. It may not be the ha-ha, silly, laugh type stuff, but it's more of a mental entertainment to make you think a little bit, to interact with people, to get people's feedback, and almost to debate a little bit. There's nothing wrong with a little disagreement and stating why you think what you think. That's absolutely fine. So you upload constantly once a day and have between 100 to 1,000 subs. That's good. I couldn't upload once a day because I would run out of stuff. Just material quickly. If I was doing gameplay, like by the numbers, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm running, of course I could do that all day. Not saying that that's what you do, but because I like to have topics to talk about, I'm not really a person that can upload, once a day. I try to do 3 times a week. Even that can get iffy. 3 times, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just to keep people engaged. But then I have some days it's just like Saturday and Sunday. I do occasionally post some defensive tips videos to vid through on Sunday. And like I was saying in the beginning, I don't want to get burnt out of just doing videos constantly. So that's why I kind of took more of a 2 to 3 videos a week approach and give time to promote that video to try to get more viewers to my channel. Hopefully people who like it stay, hit the subscribe button. But most of the time when people come on YouTube for tips and tricks, they just watch the video and get off. Like, I've watched a video before on how to tie a tie on YouTube. I didn't leave a like, I didn't subscribe, I watched the video, then I clicked off. There's this going thing where people think that there has to be a certain ratio of viewers, likes, and comments. The average YouTuber doesn't get into all of that. They just watch videos. They just put what they want to watch into the search bar. They watch it. They go over to the recommended channels, see something else they like, watch it, and then they keep moving on like that. So that's for me, it's just getting people to the channel. If they're up on YouTube and understand the whole like, dislike, subscribe system, that's great. That's awesome. But you can always get viewers who just search your video, and also people can Google. Depending on how you have your search criteria and your metadata, people can just Google a certain topic and your video may come up. Last year, I Am Viking, during PAX East time, did a video about PAX East. When you Googled PAX East 2012, his video popped up in the Google search. So that right there is just, it won't necessarily bring people that are going to subscribe to the channel, but it'll bring views. But definitely depends on what your goals are. Like I said, when I started this, my goal was to just get bigger, give me a bigger platform to speak on, move hopefully to television. And hopefully that means that vision hasn't faded. This is the first step in doing that, which is live streaming the podcast. And like I said, next year when I'm able to go to more of the gaming conventions, hopefully people will get to know my face, doing interviews, and make connections, make networking happen like that. And it's just a stepping stone. I can't post to YouTube forever. The way these games are going now, who knows if I'm going to be any good at Black Ops 2, the way that they're trying to make Black Ops 2. But I'm going to continue to play the way that I play, even when Black Ops 2 comes out. And I'll find a way. It won't be rushing around the map and spawn camping, spawn trapping, whatever you call it. But I'll find a way because I have been. You have to take YouTube seriously, and I think anything that you do, you should take seriously. If you want to make it a career, if you want to be successful at it, but if you're just doing it for fun, which I mean, a lot of people are just doing it for fun, which I never understood that. If you're doing it for fun, you kind of just post a video then walk away. I mean, what's really the point in that? I don't really understand that notion. I've come across a couple channels that have a decent amount of subscribers, but they're like, well, no, I'm not going for a partnership because I'm doing this for fun. I mean, to each his own, but just me personally, whatever I choose to do, I take it seriously because I have money invested in this. You see, the microphone and all that kind of stuff, the headsets, the computers, the games. I bought a new gaming monitor, Triton headsets. All that stuff costs money. Gaming capture cards, all that stuff costs money. And I don't have money to spend like that. And if I can get a return on it, that's beautiful. And there would be no complaints there about getting a return on that. So definitely, I take it seriously. And anyone who knows, who has come across me and talked to me, whether it be on Twitter or Skype or YouTube, knows that, I mean, I may be a pretty intense person. It seems like I don't have a sense of humor, or that I'm serious all the time. I mean, that's not true. That's just my demeanor. But it is serious to me, and I am having fun with it until you start getting to the drama filled stuff, which I try to stay away from that because it's enough drama in real life, let alone posting video games on YouTube, because it is video games. I'm not posting political campaigns or videos that are controversial as far as content on a world scale. I'm posting Call of Duty gameplay and Azura's Wrath. So I mean, to really start beef over that is really not even worth it to me. So I take it seriously, but I don't let it affect me. And that's the topic I had, was games affecting real life, but I can't really get into that topic because I had a guest that actually gave me that idea, or put that idea. He was the inspiration for that idea. And I really want to do that topic with him on the podcast because I think it'll be a real good back and forth. So that's pretty much all I had. Just before you sign these contracts, and when people come and approach you about a partnership, just know that it's for real. And it's not to put any pressure on anyone, but it's no longer just about you posting a video and then walking away. You really have to work at it. And if you want that YouTube money, if you want that White Boy 7th Street, that Ray Williams Johnson money, you got to get serious about it. And you got to do what you got to do in order to get your word, to get your face, to get your name out there, because at the end of the day, that's how you do it. So if there's anything else that anyone wants to throw my way as far as comments, concerns, questions, my 30 minutes is almost up, so I can take questions for a couple minutes. I don't want to lose viewers by going 2 hours, 3 hours, but I do want it to be interactive, and that's the reason for the actual the actual live streaming. So if you're applying to VidThru, that's cool. I will definitely see your work, and we evaluate everyone equally. And it's a fun process for me because I've actually come across a lot of new channels, small channels that I ordinarily wouldn't have come across. Have actually been surprising. You know what I mean? Like, you can see this person has the potential. So send in your applications. You know, the people that don't like VidThru for whatever reason, they won't send in their applications. They'll just continue to comment on VidThru itself, but that's fine because the more people we have talking about VidThru, the better. How do I feel about spawn trapping? I can't, like I said, man, I only have till 8:35 to talk. Spawn trapping is fine. I'm not opposed to any style of play. See, that's what people don't understand about me. I'm not against rushing. I'm not against camping. I'm not against defensive play. I'm not against spawn trapping. I'm not against camping in the spawn. I'm for whatever works. And when another team does that to a team that I'm playing on, because it's happened to us, it's just you challenge yourself to get out. You can't always have the advantage. You will never always have the advantage. And if you do, Renum Spoon, then you need to graduate from JV and go up to the varsity, the people that's on your level. But I have no qualms about any play style that's out there. I am a very tolerant person because I understand people are different. And people paid their $60 to play the way that they want to play. For those people who adopt the defensive play style and don't have a problem with that and understand it, I'm their number 1 source on YouTube for defensive tips. I'll just put it like that. The number 1 source. And maybe I need to put that on the actual channel. But I'm not going to do that because it just seems to be the thing to do. So again, man, thank everybody for stopping by. I think I peaked out at a miraculous 7 viewers. But I appreciate everyone who came in just to listen to me talk. If any of you guys have Google Plus and you have a decent head on your shoulders, we can definitely get you in this podcast to talk a little bit. You don't necessarily need a webcam. It'd be nice, but if you have a microphone, definitely just hit me up and we can get in there and start talking. If you get on the microphone and start wilding out and just saying ridiculous stuff, then I'm gonna have to cut you short and block you, all of that good stuff. I don't want to have to do that to people. Like I said, I just want to verbally spar with someone, and it's not even a bad thing. It's always a good thing. Just be tolerant of people who think differently than you do. I'm not trying to force my views on anyone, and that's that. So I got a raging 2 minutes left in the Q&A section. If anyone has anything, if not, you can just sit here, look at my spiffy glasses. I paid a whopping $3 for. That'll be nice. Got the red sides on them. Hear Me Out Podcast, episode 15, Partnerships Equal Responsibility. So those who see the actual video after the live stream, you'll have an opportunity to leave your comments. And I may not respond to the comments on the actual video itself, but I will make it a point to probably add it in the next podcast. That's something I can do, is add some of the comments from the last one into the next one. So next Tuesday, I'm trying to find a good day I can do this. I know, like PKA is on Thursdays. There was another one on Fridays. Well, people are out and about on Fridays, so I don't necessarily want to take up a Friday, but I'm trying to find a day where there's not another podcast going on where I can kind of find my own niche. So Tuesdays it is until I hear otherwise. And hot dog or hamburger, hamburgers all day. Mr. Felix Black, Hear Me Out podcast, representing fitthrough.com. Thank you guys for stopping by and watching the podcast live stream. It's the first of many, and I'm out.